So my favorite line from the book: "I was good at spewing bullshit, that's why I became a writer." Fantastic. Hey guys, it's Casera, and today I'm going to be reviewing Verity by Colleen Hoover. So if you've read any of Colleen Hoover's books before, don't expect this one to be anything like those, because this one is completely different. It is not your typical contemporary romance novel. It falls into the genre of romantic suspense, which is kind of like a mashup of thrillers and romance novels, and I think it's just such a fun genre for it to be in. This one is available through Kindle Unlimited, so that's how I ended up picking it up. When I first picked up this book, I didn't know that it fell into that category, or else I probably would have gone to it with a different attitude than I did, but I didn't expect very much from this book. I've read plenty of Colleen Hoover books before, so I kind of expected it to follow more of the same mold as her other books, but it definitely goes outside that mold quite a bit. In this book, we're following the main character of Lowen, who is a struggling author. She has been taking care of her mother, who is suffering from cancer, and her mother passed away. At the beginning of the novel, she gets an offer to finish a very popular series of novels from a very successful writer named Verity Crawford. So Verity Crawford's husband is Jeremy, who she met earlier that day and has a very strong attraction to. She decides to take the offer because she really needs the money, and Jeremy offers to let her stay in their house while she goes through all of Verity's notes. So when Lowen reaches the house, she finds an autobiography that Verity wrote of her life, in which Verity basically comes off as a really horrible person. So Lowen begins hating Verity as a person, and then there's just all these twists and turns in it that make it such a thrill ride. And there are definitely points of the story that you don't know who to believe, whether it's Lowen you should believe, or Jeremy, or maybe you should believe Verity. So it's definitely a very interesting premise. Right before I read this book, I actually read Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, which is a classic tale of romantic suspense, and it's set up pretty much exactly the same way. The only difference is the person who the guy is married to is switched in Rebecca. And I really enjoyed Rebecca. I don't think the romance was done quite as well in Rebecca as it's done in Verity, but I really enjoyed the thriller part of it in Rebecca. So for me, it just felt very formulaic in a different sense, because it basically felt like the same exact story just put in a modern setting. But I still ended up liking Verity better for several reasons. First of all, I really love Colleen Hoover's voice. I think she writes in such a way that it's so easy to get pulled into the story and keep going. I read this book in 2 sittings, and the only reason it wasn't 1 sitting was because I had to go to sleep. So it was definitely compelling, definitely a fast read, and Colleen Hoover's voice in this was just fantastic. I think some of the thriller elements to it weren't as well done as they could have been done, and she does have a few things that just felt a little out of place. The very first page, our main character Lowen witnesses someone being run over by a truck, which, while being an interesting way to have a meet cute, it wasn't exactly necessary. I think maybe she was just trying to set the tone of the story a little bit more, but it just didn't really work for me, and I almost put down the book right away. I'm really glad that I didn't though, because I really enjoyed the rest of the book. I had planned on giving it about 3.5 to 4 stars, depending how the ending went, but the last 2 chapters are fantastic. There is kind of a plot twist in the second to last chapter, which just kind of changes your perspective on the entire book, and I absolutely loved it. If you're familiar with the genre, then I don't know that it brings anything new to that genre, but I definitely loved it. If you like Colleen Hoover, I definitely recommend this. I ended up giving it 5 stars because the ending just like changed everything for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful to you. I post videos every Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, so consider subscribing. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up to support my channel, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!